back in our list.php inside of the products directory. In the else statement, what we're going to do is start with the srch variable, which will take the value from the URL with the same variable name, parameter name basically. Strip slash, we're going to start with the strip slashes to get any slashes of the value, then URL decode, and we go for this object URL get srch, and this is the value which we're going to have assigned to this variable. Now we check if isn't empty src, actually we have it here, so I don't really have to type it again. If I just indent it, we have if isn't empty srch, then we have object catalog get all products, and obviously empty variable has there are no results matching your searching criteria. And then else we have products again, object catalog get all products, and empty message would be there are currently no records. So now if we scroll down, we have our pagination class. Let's indent this entire block here as well. Obviously our pagination class paging class now takes the first parameter of this specific class in a constructor is URL object, so object URL, then comma, then records, and then how many records per page. Then we have obviously rows assigned value actually populated from the get records method, and then obviously we have this paging URL we can now remove because we no longer need it. So now save it, because obviously our pagination class now automatically figures out what URL we're working with. Now if we scroll down a little bit, we can remove this bit here, get params for search. I know I said we're going to be working with this in the previous video, but we simply don't need this. That's why we're removing this. Now for the action, just to make it easier for ourselves as well, this object URL, because we could leave it empty, but let's put the value here as well. Get current, and then srch is what we want to remove from the URL. So that's always basically submitting to the same URL. Which is basically without this parameter. Okay. Now if we scroll down a little bit, now we can remove the strip slashes because we've already processed strip slashes but when we've been assigning the value to this variable. So that's removed. Now if we scroll down, we need to amend all these links for add new product and so on. So if we go to the href attribute of this specific link, and what we're going to do is echo this object URL get current. We want to remove action, and we're going to add this action. This time it's going to be add single quote, then semicolon and closing PHP tag. So that's our URL for the add new product link. I'm just going to copy this actually, because we also need to obviously amend the links for remove and edit. So if I just copy this one here, we have, rather than, oops, okay, I should leave this obviously echo. Rather than add, it's going to be, this one is for removing, so it's going to be remove. And we're going to have ID, and then /, and we're going to concatenate it, so I'm removing all this bit. So dot product ID, and that's all done. I'm just going to copy the entire thing, paste it in the edit, for the edit href attribute. Obviously, rather than remove here, we're going to have edit. Now if we save it, and that's it. So if we go to our browser, refresh the page, it's all good. Now let's try and log in. We should see, oops, the password incorrect. Okay, and we seem to be seeing the page the way we were supposed to see it. Obviously pagination is working as well, as you can see. Click add new, it goes to the add new product page. If we click on the edit page, we've got a problem, but obviously we haven't processed edit page yet, so that's all fine. Now let's try our search form. So let's say artist, for instance, and it's filtering. Okay, and as you can see, we used post, so it went through the post and then it's been redirected. So it took the keyword which we've used and created this nicely looking static URL again. So if we put any apostrophes, let's say, they also gonna be added without any problems, any spaces, hyphens, Obviously, because we URL encoding, that's why the space has been replaced with a plus symbol. But the value passed to back to this field hasn't got it because we use URL decode. So obviously, any encoded parameters have been decoded before we pass them onto our search query, onto our SQL statement, as well as our field here. So that's all fine. Let's move to the next video.